Hey rockers, it's Punky here, welcome to another video. Today in this video I'll be doing a book review on Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare, book 1 in the Dark Artifices series. First, I'm going to read a short summary so those who have not read the book know a little bit about it. In a secret world where half-angel warriors are sworn to fight demons, parabatai is a sacred word. A parabatai is your partner in battle. A parabatai is your best friend. Parabatai can be everything to each other, but they can never fall in love. Emma Carstairs is a warrior, a shadow hunter, and the best in her generation. She lives for battle. Shoulder to shoulder with her parabatai, Julian Blackthorne, she patrols the streets of Los Angeles, where vampires party on the Sunset Strip, and fairies, the most powerful of supernatural creatures, teeter on the edge of open war with shadow hunters. When the bodies of humans and fairies turn up murdered in the same way Emma's parents were when she was a child, an uneasy alliance is formed. This is Emma's chance for revenge, and Julian's chance to get back his brother Mark, who is being held prisoner by the fairy courts. All Emma, Mark, and Julian have to do is solve the murders within 2 weeks, and before the murderer targets them. Their search takes Emma from sea caves full of sorcery into a dark lottery where death is dispensed, and each clue she unravels uncovers more secrets. What has Julian been hiding from her all these years? Why does Shadowhunter law forbid Parabatai to fall in love? Who really killed her parents, and can she even bear to know the truth? First, I'm going to talk about how Lady Midnight was written. I feel like this was written different than Cassandra Clare's other books because it has a lot more, how should I put this, plot with layers. Like, there's depth to it. Like, the other books didn't have as much, like, coding and stuff. Like, in the Infernal Devices, Mortman's, Clockwork Army and stuff, that one was pretty, like, detailed and had a lot of layers to it, and how the characters interacted was like very layered. And then in the Mortal Instruments, that was very, very layered, and I just really enjoyed all those books. I just enjoyed all the books by Cassandra Clare, and they are all very well written. And this one I just feel like really stuck out to me because of the layers. When I was reading City of Heavenly Fire, where Emma, Julian, and all the Blackthorns and all those people, all the characters in this book basically, I wasn't really interested in their storyline because I didn't really care about what was happening to them at that moment. I didn't really care that Emma's parents were, like, murdered. Like, I wanted to know what was happening with Sebastian, Jace, and Clary, and Isabel, and Simon, and Alec, and Magnus, and all those people, and Maya. I just wanted to know what was happening with them, not what was happening with the Blackthorns and the Carstairs. So I had a split opinion on this book because I really wasn't interested in their storyline beforehand, but I was watching some reviews and just listening around on it, and I decided I think I should read it because, I've read all the other ones. I've read the Infernal Devices, the Mortal Instruments, so I should read this one, and I really, really enjoyed it. I read it in like 2 days. It was just really interesting, and it was like pretty long. It's 668-ish pages, I think. I've read longer, but compared to like City of Ashes, that one's like the shortest book I think she's ever written. But this one's pretty long, but I liked it because of the mystery, had a bunch of layers into it. Okay, so attention people who have not read the book, this is where the spoilers are going to start, and I'm going to start off with a big one, like, right now, so if you do not want to hear any spoilers, I suggest clicking off the video at this moment. So, one thing about the book that I was just really surprised on was Malcolm betraying them. Like, I really thought that was not going to happen, and that he was going to stick with them, because I'm just so, like, used to the warlocks being, like, kind to the Shadowhunters, like Tessa and Magnus. They've like helped them out and stuff. But then when Malcolm took Tavi, I was just like, what? I cannot believe he did that. And just him really betraying them was just really strong. And I don't know, like, seriously, do you really need to do this just to raise a girl from the dead? You seemed to not have loved her enough to stop her from being murdered or being an Iron Sister. Well, at least he thought about that. And he gets mad at everyone for, like, thinking they lied to him, but really, he should have figured this out on his own. And I don't think that this should have went the way it went, really. I liked it, but I think that him bringing back a love from the dead wasn't really, like, does he really need to do it? Like, if it's like something like he's bringing back an evil spirit from the dead or something, then, yeah, probably you might want to stop him. I know you're not supposed to do necromancy and stuff, but taking, like, someone back from the dead, that's not really like, oh, that has to happen. Oh, yeah, we gotta stop him because you can't bring back this girl that nobody knows from the dead. I know that they tried to stop him because they didn't want him to break the law, and they wanted to find out all these murders and stuff, and how the followers were doing all these things, and why their hands were gone, and the Sterling guy. But I really don't think that Malcolm needed to do this just because he wanted to bring someone back from the dead. If you're gonna kill like 13 people, get a whole entire group of people to follow you and stuff, just to bring back one person from the dead who is just known by like you, if you're trying to bring a demon back from the dead, yeah, they definitely like be stopping you, but I really don't think they need to stop him because he was bringing back like someone nobody cared about from the dead. But when he took Tavi, I was just really surprised by that. And when all the Blackthorn children came with them, I was also very surprised with like Drew and Ty and just everyone. I was really surprised. Like, I wasn't expecting that to happen because I thought it's gonna be Perfect Diego, Emma, Julian, and Christina. Oh, they can definitely get him back. I mean, they got a bunch of the followers out of there earlier. And I don't understand earlier when he said that he would attack the followers when they were at the house. I mean, I knew that he was going to like not do it, but he's just doing it to make it sound like he was still on their team or side or whatever. But I think that he really didn't be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna set you on fire. But what if someone came behind? They're like, oh, you really gonna set me on fire, boss? And he's like, because they're his like followers, literally. When like the followers came to the institute, and like thinking back to it, would he really have done it if someone stayed because they're following him and they're helping him? So I don't know if he'd do it, and then that would blow his cover, and then yes. And I was also very, very, very surprised by the Clave not figuring this out. Like, seriously, Jason Clary did this stuff so secret, and like Charlotte running the institute and all that stuff in the Infernal Devices, where she was getting in trouble for doing these things at the institute. The Clave figured that out. That's super private stuff. This stuff, looking up murders, how does the Clave not know about this? Like, I know that these murders are taking place, and they know that the murders are taking place, but they aren't investigating, and they're not finding that the Carstairs and the Blackthorns family are looking after this, and that the fairies of the Wild Hunt or whatever have given Mark back, and they have not figured this out. I'm just really surprised. They were not being too secretive about this. The Clave usually is pretty, like, in their business, always looking over the institute. But I'm really surprised that they were able to keep the secret from the Clave. And I was also very surprised that Mark stayed with them. When, we figured out that Kieran, I don't really know how to say it, but, when he figured out that that was his, love interest, I was like, oh, he's probably gonna go back because he's been all mad at the family, and he just feels like he's really, an outcast there. I don't think he'll stay back. But then, when, Kieran betrayed him, and they punished him for telling, Christina the story about the Wild Hunt, I think he really just was set his mind, oh, I'm staying home. And I was also very much surprised. A lot of, I'm so surprised. At the end, when Emma completely rejected Julian, felt so bad for Julian. Julian, I just love him as a character. I loved Emma as a character as well, but I really don't think Emma should have acted like that. They could have kept it secret. They could have been fine. I mean, seriously, they've solved a whole entire murder case without the Clave knowing, and they can't even keep a relationship secret. I think you'll be fine. And then she asked Mark to act like she's dating him. That's not gonna make Julian not in love with her anymore. It's gonna make him mad at her. Like, seriously. Oh yeah, I'm not interested in you anymore. I'm interested in your brother. That would just be very aggravating. And I really just, this kind of kind of cliffhanger at the end of the book, but I'm just, I'm kind of really surprised by a lot of things that happened in this book. Arguments aside, Lady Midnight was a very good book, and I suggest that you do read it, and thank you guys for watching this book review. It's my very first book review, and I'm just trying it out, and I was kind of nervous when I was making this because I didn't know how it was going to go, but please show your support by, hitting the subscribe button if you already haven't, and just check out Lady Midnight because I think you'll enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for watching.